What's up, y'all? It's your boy JTMM, aka Just 10 More Minutes, aka the Freaking 10, back again with another song on Free for All Friday. I'm not done yet, don't worry, there's more to come. But this is a band, y'all already know how I feel about Alter Bridge. I fell in love with these guys from the moment I freaking heard the first song. And the last one I did think was Fortress, that from a lyric perspective was just amazing. And the music itself is just fantastic. The vocals are, I mean, seriously, I freaking love these guys. So when I was going through the list for Free for All Friday, I was like, okay, I can include that one. That's a new one. Because I always like to throw new bands in there, right? I just don't want the same bands and people think I'm just covering the same people, you know, because I do that throughout the week. So I throw in new ones, but then I always want to stay true and bring some of the bands that I truly love listening to, that y'all have helped me discover and keep going down that path. And Alter Bridge is definitely one of these. Um, there's not really anything I can sit there and go, well, I don't like this. Yeah, I can critique a lot of stuff. I've done it before, even with bands that I cover a lot of. But these guys, I have yet to really do that. I absolutely love it. And this is an official video, right? I think the first two that I covered with them, I don't remember there being a video for either one of those that sticks out in my mind. So to see an official video, that's not a lyric video or just me looking at the album cover as I react to it, is always exciting to see what kind of visuals they put behind it. So I'm very excited. That being said, let's switch it up and check it out.
Like before, the same old sinking feeling pulls me down an endless hole. All the heavy lifting as I fret for what might be. If this is the beginning of the end, then let me dream. In the eye of the storm,
Wow. Okay, so here's one thing, and I didn't realize I didn't have the lyrics up. As I looked over, I was like, wait, those aren't it. These guys, what I one of the things I truly enjoy is when a band stays true to themselves in the sense of tone and things like that. And these guys nail it. I mean, they know exactly who they are and what they are masterful at. The lyrics are great. That intro was great. And then they did a couple little of the note changes of going. And I'm not, when it gets into the major, minor, and all of those things, you know, it's been years since I was in band and played an instrument like that. I more listened and then could play. But they did kind of a what I would maybe assume, again, don't crucify me, but going from like this major chord almost to this minor, right? Where it's almost a half step down instead of going a whole step. And it just threw that little bit of a wickedness in there and just that little bit of that edge to it that I love when that happens, because it just kind of throws you off, right? If when you listen to as much music as we do, you know, you're used to those major steps between chords, right? Where it's like, oh, okay, they're when they go down, they take a step down, and it makes sense. But when they do that weird little half step, and I'm throwing in my music lingo, so don't crucify me. I'm not claiming to be a music expert. When they throw those little steps in, where it almost goes like a off key, even though it's not. I love that. It just throws a twist into it. Lyrics wise, here we go again. It's coming on just like before. The same old sinking feeling pulls me down an endless hole. Oh, the heavy lifting as I fret for what might be. If this is the beginning of the end, then let me dream. In the eye of the storm from the moment we're born, in the dying light we learn to live. When we give in to the silent waves that crash inside. In the dying light, we can begin to live again when we wake up to eternal life. I've said it, and if you're new to the channel, you know, when I go through the lyrics like this, there's a couple things I look for. I love when they can take in, you know, like before and whole, right? If you speak those words, you're not picturing them rhyming. But if you listen very closely, and it's coming on just like before, the same old sinking feeling pulls me down an endless hole. You can actually hear a little bit of the rhyme, but if you're just going, hey, before whole, you're like, what? That doesn't rhyme. But I love little things like that when they're putting them in. And then again, same thing. As I fret for what might be, if this is the beginning of the dream, then of the end, then let me dream. Again, pronunciation plays a key role. And these guys are masters of it. Fortress was just mind-blowing. I love that song. And this one is right there. So I'm interested to see where they take it. Let's keep going. Okay. Um, Normally I pause a lot more in a song, but I mean, I'm sitting here just like I was listening and I was going through the lyrics and reading them, right? And just kind of seeing where they went with them. And the next thing I know, I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh crap, here's a guitar solo. Okay. We've got 50 seconds left. Okay, I'm just gonna let it finish. Um, how would I describe that? Because I've listened to Silver Tongue and I listened to Fortress. And this just had a vibe to it. Because when I saw Dying Light, right, you kind of get this, I don't want to say a dark feeling to it, right? But anytime you mention the word dying, right, you're imagining something that may be darker. I don't get the feeling from it. This sounded more of kind of I don't want to say uplifting, but especially when you use the word something like we can begin to live again, or we learn to live when we give in, right? And when we wake up to an eternal life. So let's go through the rest of the lyrics, and then because I'm still kind of processing musically with the switch, and they went a little harder at some points and then came back down. I'll say it again. I absolutely love these guys. So, excuse me. Let this be an exercise in how to face your fears. Step into the realm of madness if you dare, my dear. We are lost in the swarm from the moment that we're born. In the dying light, we learn to live when we give in to the silent waves that crash inside. In the dying light, we can begin to live again when we wake up to an eternal life. All that we need passes by until we concede and resign the mortal coil into the light. In the dying light, we learn to live when we give in to the silent waves that crash inside. In the dying light, we can begin to live again when we wake up to eternal life. Again, I love when bands do something like this, because I'm trying to think back to Fortress and talking about walls coming down, and really, you could picture it almost in any type of relationship, as someone pointed out in my comment section. I was picturing, relationship as far as like love and all of that and it ending, but someone pointed out and they were right, right? It could be any relationship and how it crumbles. Um this one's just got like this different freedom to it. I don't know if that's the right term. Um but there was just so much musically in this, right? There was some switches. It came out this harder side of it that to me, I mean, some of it just because of how it sounded, you could almost put it into a movie, right? Y'all know how visually I love to put things into scenes and picture things as the story is being told. And this, and some of the parts just seems like it could definitely be part of a movie. Um, yeah, these are not complex lyrics, right? They're not. You don't you don't have these in depths of some of the things we've seen, like from a To Almost of Nightwish, right? These intricate storylines weaved together. But it's the simplicity of the lyrics along with that music, and that's what I really appreciate about Alter Bridge is it's not overproduced, it's not overdone. It's just pure music. And there's such a clean sound to these guys. They always make me think. When I look at their lyrics, right? In the dying light, we learn to live when we give in to the silent waves that crash inside. That one's going to have me thinking, because when you talk about the silent waves that crash inside, those are the things that make me think, because it's a message, right? It's not anything of darkness. It's at peace. That's and it's not a, what's the word? It's not like a Zen song to me, of one that you could listen to and kind of calm down. But the words themselves, if you listen to it, it almost sounds of how you can be at peace, if that makes sense, right? Because it talks about we're lost in the swarm from the moment we're born. In the dying light, we learn to live when we give in to the silent waves that crash inside. I love that lyric. I really, really do. Wow. For those, if you like tattoos, I mean, I may or may not have a couple, right? Those lyrics, that lyric, in the dying light, we learn to live when we give in to the silent waves that crash inside. That'd be if you like the word tattoos, that would be an awesome one to have, just to remind yourself. Man, these guys just keep bringing it. I want more from them. I have a whole list. I saw this one was from 2019. And again, I don't know what to trust sometimes on these feedbacks of what's accurate and what's not. Of if that's truly released or if this was a hit song, whatever. But let me know. I want more of these guys. Let me switch it up. Give you my final thoughts. This one's thrown me for a loop, and not in the sense of not liking it. It's in the sense of trying to understand the message they get across. And then as I got to the end and I'm talking through it and watching it, of that how to be at peace type of message is how I interpret it, right? That's all about what this reaction is how I'm interpreting it. I don't know what their intent was, or how others have interpreted it. But when I hear the words of things like we learn or we begin or we can begin, it gives that sense of, okay, these are kind of steps you're taking, right? When we can, when you live, things like that is a message of when you do these things, X is going to happen. Cause and effect, right? And so I get this sense of this is how to be at peace. And when you give in to the silent waves that crash, the silent waves that crash inside. That is a beautiful line, man. Another awesome one from Alter Bridge, guys. Keep them coming, please. Again, I don't listen to these songs, and this is why I always say, give me more, is because I don't listen to these in my car. I don't listen to these when I'm not recording. I truly want y'all to have my first reaction. So a lot of these bands that I cover, unless I've covered the majority of their songs, like a Ginger or a Nightwish, I'm very selective in what I put in my playlist so that I don't screw up my first reaction so that y'all see it. I do one take only. Y'all know me by now. That's how I roll. And so I don't put these in. So when I say give me these, it's because I want to hear them more, because I'm not going to listen to them otherwise, so y'all can truly get that first reaction. With that being said, let's close it out with some notifications. Man, this was an awesome song. Wow. If you like that video, hit that like button. If you want to leave me a comment, let me know more songs by them. Feed them. Let me know. And if you like the content I'm producing, this is a free for all Friday. If you don't know by now and you're new to the channel, first time checking me out, Monday and Wednesday, Ginger, Sabaton, Nightwish, and then a bonus video, Tuesday, Thursday, Sabaton history, and the rabbit hole that I am just fascinated by, and that's The Warning. Such talent, such great storytelling. And then Fridays like today, free for all Friday. I have a list of a backlog of songs of about 100 to 120 songs that y'all have requested, and I go in and I start knocking those out at random. Some bands I've heard, some bands I haven't. Today there's a couple new bands. So please just let's keep going. Let's keep on this. The support has been great. I love it. I love it. I love it. If you want to support me, you can hit that subscribe button, the like button, comment, share, all of those wonderful things. There's other ways you want to help me out with the time that I invest into my channel. You can go to buymeacoffee.com/JTMM TV. That's just 10 more minutes TV. And you can buy me a coffee. It's always appreciated. Please never require the like, subscribe, and all of that is really what truly helps me as a content creator. Just know that I'm going down the right path, which I'll continuously do. The growth is going off the roof. I absolutely love it. I love each and every one of y'all that support me. With that being said, that's going to do it for this one, but a couple more headed your way. Until then, my friends, always remember, someone asks you to stop what you're doing, don't ask for one, don't ask for two, and certainly don't ask for five. Someone asks you to stop what you're doing, always ask for just 10 more minutes. I'm JTMM. I'm out.